So, I'm once again hit with a multiple comic release, with issue 77 and this DC Sonic crossover, meaning I'm gonna be writing multiple reviews and editing 2 videos back to back for y'all. I'm really back here cooking, so do your boy a solid and hit the like button and comment down below for the algorithm. Let YouTube know you actually like these videos so it shows them to you in your feed. Anyway, without further ado, let's take a look at the long-awaited Sonic and DC crossover. This event starts with a strange ship appearing through what appears to be a multiversal portal, right onto Earth, Sonic's dimension. Not gonna lie, the old school Sonic fanboy in my heart is going to miss the Mobius name. But I digress. Sonic, Tails, and Amy are in the middle of a picnic when they see the invading ship descending on them. With little to no hesitation, our heroes are quick to jump into action. Is that a Sonic CD reference? Alright, my bad, y'all. A bunch of demonic-looking bugs descend down from the ship to attack our heroes. These things are called parademons, and according to the DC Wikipedia, my #1 source for all things I don't really understand, these are the personal shock troops of Darkseid. Think of them like egg pawns from Sonic's world, but a lot scarier. Despite taking out more than a handful of them, Sonic is quick to note that there doesn't seem to be an end to them. So with some quick thinking, and before they get overwhelmed by their numbers, Sonic grabs Tails and Amy and gets them out of there fast. Hey look, a technique that could have easily saved a certain Edgy Hedgy back during the Metal Virus arc. I'm just saying. Sonic, seeing multiple portals opening up, decides that their friends might need help, and takes off with Amy and Tails in tow to help the others. Speaking of the others, there's a certain someone rougher than the rest of them that's already in the middle of putting hands to those oversized bugs. Look at this parademon's face. Bro is from the DC universe and he's still shocked by how hard his boy got sent to the stratosphere. He chose a really bad place to drop, because this island happens to belong to the guardian of the Master Emerald, my boy Knuckles the Echidna, who has already slept multiple parademons by himself. It's kinda crazy how many people Knuckles has absolutely duffed over the years. Badniks, Ray the Squirrel, Rouge the Bat, Metal Sonic, the soldiers from Sonic Frontiers, and even Sonic himself. Guess we're adding parademons to that list now. Just goes to show, no matter who you are, if you trespass, you're catching hands from the pissed off enchilada. Back on the floating interdimensional vessel known as Ragnarok, we see the main villain of the story, Darkseid himself, and one of his goons watching Knuckles fight down below on the island. Not wanting to catch the same fate as Parademons just got from the Echidna, Darkseid commands his goon to destroy the Master Emerald, since it's the only thing that has the power to neutralize what he's after on this planet, the Chaos Emerald. That's right everyone, even other villains from other universes want the Chaos Emerald's powers. It is a Sonic story after all. What would a Sonic plot be without a race to find them? With a rather ominous image of the ship building up power, almost similar to the Death Egg, Darkseid fires a massive death beam directly at the Master Emerald and Knuckles. But right before the beam is able to send Knuckles to meet his ancestors, a blue streak speeds by to save him at the last second, leaving the Emerald to get shattered and destroyed, dropping Angel Island out of the sky.
Now wait just a minute. How come Superman didn't just grab Knuckles and the Emerald?
So the comic can happen.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, back down at Sunset City, the Parademon invasion is in full effect, and Sonic decides to run ahead to check on things. God damn, Sonic! Did you have to drop Tails like that? My boy is full face to road in this panel. And as he's off running, another popular speedster happens to pull up right beside him. This here is the Flash, the world's most popular comic speedster, who upon seeing Sonic mistakes him for someone called Crackle. Yeah, so after some research, I learned that Crackle is a defender of radio frequency and looks like this. He's apparently a DC homage to Sonic from what I can tell, and I can see why at first glance Flash would mistake the two for one another. And as one might expect from smack-talking speedsters, they immediately start shit-talking each other. Listen kid, I'm the Flash. I'm speed personified. Then I am speed perfected. Ooh, tell him Sonic! Real talk though, this comic is about to be sourced as another power scaling source for Sonic and his friends in future death battles. I can feel it. Sonic fans are about to be examining each and every inch of this comic for feats in this to bring up in arguments later. Meanwhile, other fandoms are nervously dreading the bull they're about to be hearing about how Sonic raced the Flash. How ironic that we went from Sonic reading Flash comics in the movie to him actually racing him. movie Sonic would lose his shit. Up in the sky, Silver is using his telekinetic abilities to keep some parademons at bay, until he's suddenly assisted by John Stewart, one of the members of the Green Lantern Corps. The two have some banter where we see the experienced heroes learning more about these strange, naturally superpowered heroic anthropomorphic critters. And as we pan down to street level, we see a possum mother and her child being chased down by one of the parademons, only for it to get the Tiger Knee Backbreaker combo from Shadow and Batman. Look at the form on these moves. Batman is damn near hitting him with the Captain Falcon forward air, while Shadow punched a beam of pure energy through its body, giving it one hell of a back shot.
What?
Absolutely rocking its shit. With nothing left to do but Aura Farm, our two broody boys are off to jump their next parademon victim. Meanwhile, back with Amy and Tails, did I mention this comic has a bunch of characters? They find themselves meeting up with Wonder Woman and Cyborg, using both their signature weapons and their catchphrases. They're interrupted by the appearance of Kalibak, who is the son of Darkseid. However, Knuckles still has some unfinished business with him after the destruction of the Master Emerald, and adds his ass to the list of enemies decimated by his haymaker. With the now downed warrior about to get up once more, he's dealt the finishing blow by Superman, who puts his ass into the dirt. After a brief explanation, Knuckles explains that he was able to get off the island unharmed because of Superman. With all of our heroes now gathering together, they begin to finally introduce themselves. Yo, Sonic, chill. I just love that cocky energy he brings every time. The DC heroes are first to introduce themselves, with Sonic formally naming his friends as well. Uh-oh. Alright, Son-Amy fans, chill out. It's just a word, it don't mean much. With no further pleasantries needed, Cyborg starts to drop mad exposition, telling Sonic and Co. the new threat they are dealing with, as well as his motivation. It's to get, what else? The Chaos Emeralds. Again? Even Sonic is like, this plot for the umpteenth time. Again, it's not a Sonic story if the Chaos Emeralds aren't involved in some way, shape, or form. Can I just say how much I love these two panels? It feels like something straight out of Sonic X, with the characters jumping into the camera to interrupt conversations in progress. I don't know, it's silly and I like it. Wonder Woman asks if there's any real way to counter the power of the emeralds, and is told that the Master Emerald was capable of doing that before it had been blown up. With the heroes deciding that the best course of action for them is to team up, Shadow suddenly decides he has no time for this and heads out. Shadow, you're unemployed and Rouge and Omega aren't even here. What have you got to do right now? Fortunately, Batman can see through Shadow's aloof exterior, and is just about the only one dark and broody enough to understand Shadow on an emotional level. The two decide to trauma bond over the deaths of their loved ones, and Batman is able to convince Shadow to rejoin the group's efforts to stop Darkseid. Not gonna lie, Shadow and Batman are a really good team up. They're practically the same character on different sides of different universes. Tails and Cyborg agree to combine their brains and tech together to create a Chaos Emerald detector, while the others split off into groups to go search for them. Knuckles with Superman, by the way, love that they bond over being the last of their kind. Amy with Wonder Woman, Shadow with Batman, Silver with Green Lantern, and lastly, Sonic with the Flash. The two speedsters head to South Island and just happen to run into Darkseid there, who has appeared to have already found a Chaos Emerald. Oh, he said the thing!
It all starts with this. A jewel containing the ultimate power.
He made the reference. And so ends part 1 of the Sonic and DC crossover, with all of our heroes now on a crash course for the Chaos Crisis storyline. This is pretty much what you'd expect from a crossover story, a meeting of heroes where there's a lot of exposition to get unfamiliar readers up to speed with either universe. This is a fun way to see two different universes interact without either universe looking stronger or weaker than the other. And like I said before, this whole series of comics will now be added to the list of future Sonic feats when discussing power levels of any kind. So that'll be fun. Now the argument's gonna be which comic version of Sonic is stronger, RT or IDW. My question is, will Eggman show up at any point in this story? Surely he's not about to let another villain destroy the Earth, considering his plans for it in his Eggman Land theme park. We're witnessing comic history here, y'all, so let's see where this goes in the next issue. I give this comic an 8.6 out of 10. So what do you all think? What was your favorite part of the issue? Sonic and Flash's talking? or Shadow and Batman trauma bonding. Hopefully you all have already spin dashed the like button to show your support for this video, and if you want to help me, Wolfie out, and get YouTube to show you even more of these, you know what you gotta do. The story continues in part 2, so click this video to see what happens next. Last video's best comment. This video is brought to you by my patrons: Swirlycomb26234, M Speed, Jackal Pawpat, Jamal Simmons, Spando2, Naki Rocks, Matej Spanik, Julian Gill, Whoopee, Sebastian Platt, Lays Boy, Starfighter 364, Pokédexes, Shadow, Maverick, Marcy Martin, Gabri, John Gumby, TJ2K, Seiko, Max Moeller, Jeffrey Dahl, Jack Thorne, Anthony Sampson, Dennis Taylor, Ruckus 3K, Chris, Malik Brahan Alston, Ronnie Holt, Ivan Lugo, Jack Rigg, Milza Hodinu, Black Flash 09, Shadow Soul, The Zeto Blade, Not Lagoshi, Sarah McMinamy, The Zerai, Martin Brown, Ali Bird, Alyssa. Thank you all for your continued support.